In 2054, Atletico Madrid are going to lose a final in the Champions League again. But how? We all remember 2014 when Atletico were so close to their first Champions League title, but in the final seconds of the game, Sergio Ramos broke their hearts. But what if I told you that same exact heartbreak happened 40 years earlier? Welcome to my series about the 2025 World Cup, where I tell a story about every team at the tournament. Today we're talking Atletico Madrid. Now in 1974, they were also Spain's third biggest club. But in Europe, they were underdogs. Yet against the odds, they reached the European Cup final of that year against Bayern Munich. Now you might think it's Bayern. Well, of course they were favorites for that match. But in that year, Bayern had 0 titles to their name. So the final taking place in Brussels ended 0-0 after a grueling 90 minutes. Extra time. Then the 114th minute, Luis Aragonés takes a free kick, and before the ball even goes in, he starts celebrating. It's 1-0 for Atletico Madrid. They are about to be European champions. And now there's seconds left to the game, but there's time for just one last Bayern attack. And then from out of nowhere, Schwarzenbeck takes a shot, a wonderful one from distance, and it flies into the net. 1-1. Atletico's dreams shattered in the final seconds of the game. Now you might think penalties, but this is 1974, and so penalty shootouts still weren't a thing. Instead, they went to an FA Cup-like replay. Drained and deflated though, Atletico never stood a chance. Bayern destroyed them 4-0, lifting their first European Cup and starting a dynasty. Atletico since then were known as El Pupas, the cursed ones. Some call it bad luck, but others call it karma. Because earlier in the tournament, Atletico Madrid faced Celtic in one of the most infamous games in football history, a game which was less like football and more like a war. Kicking, punching, headbutts, you name it. 3 red cards and 9 bookings, and people were like, no, there should have been more. It was so violent that Celtic supported Bayern in the final as they hated Atletico so much. So while for some fans it could be the beautiful story of, oh, they were almost there, for Celtic fans it was like, that was the best way possible that they could lose. Now fast forward 40 years, and the same thing happened, just in a bit of a different style. In 1974, Bayern equalized and won 4-0 in the replay. And in 2014, Sergio Ramos equalized, but then they destroyed them in extra time. And if history repeats itself, then in 2054, I think we know how the story ends. Thank you for watching this video. I'm trying to get a gig at the Club World Cup and cover the stories from there. So if you could, support this video, I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much.